Let me ask you something. When you think about who you want to become, what comes up? Do you imagine someone more disciplined, more confident, someone who follows through, who doesn't keep falling into the same patterns? Maybe you've tried to change before. Maybe you've set goals, made plans, visualized the best version of yourself, but somehow you always end up back in the same loop. If that's you, I get it. And you're not doomed. The real issue isn't you. It's your wiring. Because whether we realize it or not, we're always being shaped by what we repeatedly think, feel, and do. But here's the best news you'll hear today. You can rewire your brain. And when you do that, you change your entire life. This isn't just about mindset. This is science. It's strategy. And it's your invitation to stop being stuck and start becoming. Let's break it down. Your brain wasn't built to help you crush goals or live your dream life. It was built to help you survive. That's why it focuses more on what could go wrong than what could go right. It's why one negative comment can outweigh 10 compliments. It's why your brain defaults to fear, doubt, and hesitation, even when you know what you want. This is called the negativity bias, and it's wired into our neurobiology. But here's where it gets powerful. Thanks to neuroplasticity, your brain is always changing, always learning, always adapting based on what you repeat. Every time you think a thought, you fire a set of neurons. And every time you fire them, you strengthen them. This is how thought patterns become beliefs. Beliefs become habits, and habits become who you are. So if you want to become someone different, more focused, more courageous, more aligned, it starts by breaking the loop of who you used to be. Let's look at how that loop gets locked in. Here's something no one tells you. Most of the beliefs you have about yourself aren't even yours. They're borrowed from past experiences, from people who hurt you, from moments you were misunderstood, dismissed, or afraid. Over time, your brain takes those moments and builds a mental shortcut. I'm not good with pressure. I never stick with anything. I'm just not that kind of person. That shortcut becomes a story. That story becomes a loop. And that loop becomes your identity. Cognitive Behavioral Therapy, CBT, explains how this happens in a single loop. Is thought goes into emotion, emotion goes into behavior, and the behavior reinforcement of that thought. So here's a real life example. You think, I'm not confident speaking in groups. So you feel anxious. That leads to you staying quiet, and that leads to you missed opportunities, which confirms, see, I'm not confident. It's a loop. But here's a power you've probably never been taught. If you change the thought, even slightly, you interrupt the loop. And when you interrupt the loop repeatedly, you change the identity. The person you want to become isn't out there. They're already inside you. They're just buried under old loops. So let's talk about how to dig them up and build something new. All right, so it's time to get tactical. Here are 3 tools you can use in real time to interrupt those loops and start rewiring your brain for the life and identity you actually want. They're simple, they're science-backed, and they work if you use them. The first tool is name it to tame it. So the next time a negative thought hits, don't run from it. Don't believe it. Just name it. You feel that old thought creeping in. They're probably judging me. Say to yourself, that's the insecurity voice, or that's my fear of being seen. If you do that, and I know it sounds small, but naming the thought puts you in observer mode. It pulls the thought out of the driver's seat. So you're no longer reacting, you're responding. And that's the start of control. Tool number 2, talk back with real truth. You don't need to lie to your brain. You just need to give it something better to believe. Let's say your old thought is, I always fail at this. Next time that creeps in, try, I failed before. Yeah. But I've also learned a lot. I'm not the same person now. This is about building evidence-based belief. You're not hyping yourself up. You're rewiring with honesty. This is how confidence grows. It's not through hype, but through truth repeated over time. The third tool, ride the 90-second wave. Now, here's a quick fact that might change your life. An emotion like fear, anger, or shame only lasts 90 seconds in the body. After that, it only continues if you keep feeding it with thoughts. So when emotion hits, don't suppress it. Don't chase it. Just breathe. Feel it. Let it pass without adding a story. Set a 90-second timer if you need to. I'm telling you, you'll be surprised how often what felt overwhelming just simply dissolves. Every time you do this, you teach your nervous system, I am safe. I can handle this. I don't need to run from my own emotions. That's emotional mastery. That's leadership over your own mind. Now, these 3 tools aren't just mental tricks. They're how you literally start becoming the person who doesn't spiral, who doesn't quit, who responds instead of reacting. But there's one more piece, because all the science in the world won't help you if you don't believe change is possible. And that's where faith and focus come in. Science shows us how to change the brain, but it's belief that keeps you doing the work when motivation fades. You have to have faith in yourself, in your God, in something greater that activates hope networks in the brain. It helps you delay gratification, overcome fear, and stay focused in the storm. Think about this. Every time you visualize a future you haven't lived yet and act like it's possible, you're changing your brain. This is called anticipatory circuitry. It's how elite athletes train. It's how people break addiction. It's how you create outcomes that haven't happened yet. That means when you say, I am becoming more disciplined, I'm building a life I love. I don't shrink back. I reset and move forward. Your brain listens. Your brain adapts. And eventually, it aligns. That's not just hope. That's neurobiology. Here's the part no one says out loud. You don't become who you want to be by setting a goal. You become that person by rewiring how you show up moment by moment. It starts with the thoughts you challenge, the ones you interrupt, the loop you choose not to repeat, even when they feel familiar, and they will. They'll creep in. You want to be confident? Rewire your self-talk. You want discipline? Rewire how you respond when motivation fades. You want peace? Rewire how you handle discomfort. It's all reps, and every rep matters. So start small, catch one thought, talk back once, ride one emotional wave without giving in. And tomorrow, do it again and again. Because here's the truth. You don't get what you want in life. You get who you're wired to be. So wire in who you want. Show up like them. Speak like them. Think like them. Before the results show up. That's how you close the gap between who you are and who you're here to become. You're not stuck. You're not broken. You're just rewiring. Welcome to the new you. Welcome to Mind Hackers.